Hi, happy Friday. We today got a couple of you here. Today we're going to be looking in the garage, and also some of the workshops of some of the people that work at City Museum. So yeah, we'll give it just a minute, but in the meantime, while we're waiting, you can take a look. Some of the stuff we'll be looking at today. We're going to do a quick tour around the museum, or around the garage. Ooh, and while we're waiting, we're going to give it just a minute so people can log on if they're free. Let me take a look at this guy. Or fish. Alright. Now, the air vents are a little loud in here, so if anyone can't hear me, just leave a comment and I'll start shouting. Hi. Hello. So, this is weird. I'm Maria Castley. I am the Chief Archivist and Tours Manager at City Museum. This is from the archives. We're going to do a little tour around some of the workshops at City Museum. So a little behind the scenes look. And I'll talk a little bit about the different, I'll talk a little bit about the different, pieces, and you can kind of just see a lot of the materials that we use to make the museum. So we'll get started. So this is the first floor garage. The whole first floor, when the Castleys originally bought the building, was a parking lot. So these were all parking spaces. And yeah, you can say hi in the comments if you're watching. So, mountain of ladders. Over here, so they use rebar a lot, reinforced bar in a lot of the sculptures and things that they build. So we have tons of it. Alright. Yeah, and like I said, if you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll try and answer them for you. I'm also going to try and talk close to the phone so you can actually hear me. This is a spiral staircase that hasn't found a home yet. This is a giant chain. If you've been to our third floor, there's a big chain that goes into the little waterfall that goes down onto the second floor. Let's see. Lots of little gears welded together to make walls. You'll see that throughout the museum quite a bit. So over here, part of what's really cool about the museum, a lot of our materials come from either like cast off or, we try and recycle and use a lot of things that don't normally get used. So like these guys here, this is when they do like a die cutting process, when they punch out the metal, this is what's left over. And then the negative shapes they use to make like walls and railings and all sorts of things throughout the museum. And I personally think they're gorgeous. So it's something that would normally have maybe gotten thrown away or melted down as scrap that we end up using. And you'll see a lot of those pieces throughout the museum as well. More really giant material. One of the kind of guiding principles of City Museum is that anything's a brick if you have enough of them. It was from one of our co-founder, Bob Castley. He is correct, and we use that a lot throughout the museum. So you'll see if you see a lot of one thing, for example, bicycle wheels. Hello. Then a lot of these, so this could definitely be used as a, built as a wall or something, a big installation. Also, I've been reading, hey Stacy, thank you, I think so too. Yeah, this place is really awesome. So, another thing, in watching some of the archival footage of Bob, like before the museum was even built, you talked about how architecture allows you to create in a larger scale than maybe just like general like art sculpture would allow you to. So I think a lot of these pieces that people wouldn't normally think of as architectural pieces, he ends up using to build with. And then a lot of architectural scraps get repurposed. And for those of you just joining us, we are in the garage / studios for the crew, the workshops. Taking a look around, a little behind the scenes look here, where a lot of the magic happens. Alright. So this up here is a wind turbine blade. I'm not 100% sure how we ended up with it, but hasn't quite found a home yet, but I have every faith that we'll figure it out. This is all marble. A lot of these are, there are definitely a lot of bigger pieces, but we've got some smaller ones too that we'll end up using for different projects. All different types of marble too, and they're really cool. You'll see a lot of marble throughout the museum. Alright. And we've got this guy. And a lot of this stuff, it's not necessarily that we went looking for it, but if the opportunity comes to get it, even if we don't have a spot for it, we'll take it, and then if we don't have a spot for it inside the museum, we'll take it, and then eventually we'll figure out where its home is going to be. Alright, let me skip over that. This clock up here, this was in the lobby for a little while, ended up getting moved into here for the time being. Also got a merry-go-round in the back corner for some reason. Hi Brian, thank you. Agreed. Speaking of merry-go-rounds, we've got a little tiny Ferris wheel that hasn't been put into use quite yet. And what I believe is the bottom part of a giant tennis racket from Billie Jean King. I think that might have been up in Beatnik Bob's at one point. I'm not sure why that ended up down here, but sheets of marble. So right now we're going to go into Paul, he's a stonemason that's on the crew, into his studio. Oops, here. Paul, we're coming through. I don't think you're. Hello! So he's been working on, this is for a private project he's been working on. Got these guys. And there's the other drunken troll. Hello! So, I think these are so cool. All of his little shelves. There you go, don't let me stop you. Okay. Thanks, Paul. Always working in City Museum. Alright, so yeah, that was Paul's studio. And then now, I don't know if any of you watched on Wednesday, but saw a few squirrels. They multiply. They're waiting to be used. And we also do a lot of stone casts of objects, and that way we can use them in multiple places throughout the museum. More squirrels! Yeah, you can see we're on the other side. You see the little tiny baby Ferris wheel. And then these guys, so these were fabricated by the crew. And these are going to be future tunnels. This is the plan. This giant claw guy here. He's huge. Oh. Hi, Randy. Oh, all the way from Arizona. How's it going down there? This is a railing that hasn't been installed yet. I got another piece here. Thanks. This leaf. And this is one of our workstations. Yeah, I bet. It's getting there here too. It's a little warm here as well. Let's see. So it's, by normal standards, it's a pretty big area, but, yeah, thanks. But when you take into account how much work constantly goes on inside the museum, we tend to get a lot done in a very short amount of time with very little resources. So here's inside the welding shop. Alright. Oh. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it, Jerry. Yeah, thank you. I think we are going to. We had never done really any like live videos before we ended up closing, so, but I think it's something we're going to keep up. I'm going to try and keep doing it. So this is outside. You hush. Lee's making fun of me. So you can do it outside of, so this is outside of the cave. So if you're ever climbing inside there, oh here, let me show you. Yeah, we missed it too though. We missed it when it was closed. We're glad we're open again. And so this is one of the, this is what's on the outside of the cave. This is one of the big tunnels. So when you go down, you're actually inside, kind of inside the garage. And then we'll go up here. Yeah, normally Fridays we're going to kind of keep them like, from the archives, like old photos and stuff like that, but I figure you guys have seen enough of the inside of my office, so we'll, today we do a little walkabout. And we're going to end again with the freight elevator and our giant fish. And more often than not, when you're waiting to take stuff up the freight elevator, you'll see a lot of little hands and faces sticking out from there. I agree, yes. So surrealist playground, as I like to call it. There are multiple escape hatches, actually. Just gotta know where to find them. Oh. Let's see. So, yeah. All right. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Yeah, a lot of the pieces that we use were once other things. So we get a lot of material that would either be thrown away, or we get a lot of stuff from auctions as well, or salvage yards, a lot of salvage yards, a lot of buildings that would be torn down normally, or a lot of buildings that were being torn down. A lot of times they'll call us or call the museum and be like, hey, this is going to be torn down in this date, so you want to come by and see if there's anything you're interested in? And then that's how we end up getting a lot of the pieces that are in here. We try not to take anything from any buildings that can be saved or are going to be repurposed or are going to stay up. So majority of the things here are from buildings, either they were remodeling and it was like leftover materials that weren't going to be reused, or buildings that were going to be raised, and then we go in and get materials, and then oftentimes if we don't have anything yet specifically planned for them, we'll store them either in the garage or on the 7th floor. The whole 7th floor is all storage area for materials. There's a lot of architectural elements up on that floor as well. So yeah, so it's not just architectural elements, like we were saying. It's you know, bicycle wheels and Vest soda bottles and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's really cool. I appreciate all that everybody does to make this place happen. So yeah, if there are any other questions, let me know. But I think we've reached the end of the garage. Thank you guys. Well, we're gonna keep doing the shows and showing old photos and videos of the place being built. Kind of just depend on what we're getting done that week. So yeah, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Appreciate you all watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, thanks. Bye.